Welcome to the Sleepless Historian. If you enjoy our gentle explorations into the mundane corners of history, please consider liking and subscribing. And remember to turn on loop, so that this soothing narrative can repeat, embracing you in its calm warmth. Now, let us settle into a cozy space. Dim the lights around you. Take a moment to adjust your pillow and blanket, nestling into a comfortable position. Allow your breathing to slow in and out, softly and gently. Today, we will embark on a rather peculiar journey. We will delve into the dismal history of medieval mace polishing competitions. A topic that, at first glance, may seem dull. Yet it opens a window into the mundane rhythms of life in the past. These competitions were not grand spectacles, but rather methodical, quiet events. Gatherings where knights and squires took part in the meticulous art of weapon maintenance. Picture, if you will, a dimly lit chamber filled with the scent of oil and metal. The air is still. Maces, heavy and imposing, rest against the walls. Competitors arrive, each one armed with soft cloths and polishing compounds, ready to transform their grimy weapons into gleaming instruments of war. The process is slow. The motions are deliberate. Each knight stretches, settling into their routine, preparing the mace with a sense of ritual. Little by little, they apply the polishing compound. The cloth glides over the surface, removing layers of dirt accumulated through countless battles. The rhythm is soothing, almost meditative. As the maces begin to shine, the competitors exchange few words. Instead, they focus on their task, each stroke bringing them closer to perfection. The measurements are precise, as they note the time spent on each mace. How many minutes per inch of polished surface? Such details, while seemingly unexciting, reveal the dedication to maintaining honor through cleanliness. And so, we will uncover the specifics, the routines, the etiquette, and the logistics of these competitions, exploring how knights engaged in this seemingly trivial pursuit. The story unfolds slowly, like the gradual polishing of a once dull weapon, transforming it into a gleaming emblem of pride. Let us begin this gentle journey into the past. Oh, the tools of the polishing trade are simple, yet essential. Each knight possesses a set of cloths, varying in texture and size. Soft, lint-free cloths are favored for the final touches, while coarser rags are used in the earlier stages. The knights take care to keep these tools clean, for cleanliness begets cleanliness. The polishing compounds themselves are a blend of fine powders, often derived from naturally occurring minerals. Some knights may opt for a mixture of pumice and beeswax, while others prefer the gentler touch of fine chalk dust. Each substance is chosen for its capacity to bring out the luster of the metal, removing blemishes and imperfections. The price of these materials varies. A small pouch of polishing compound might cost a few pennies, but quality is paramount. After all, a gleaming mace reflects not just the weapon itself, but the honor of its bearer. As the sun rises higher in the sky, illuminating the courtyard, knights gather to begin their day. They have a set schedule, a rhythm that governs this peculiar competition. Mornings begin with a thorough inspection of their maces. Each knight checks for dents and scratches, surveying the weapon with a discerning eye. This inspection takes time. Each knight spends about half an hour evaluating their weapon, ensuring that it is worthy of the polishing process. Little by little, they note the areas that require extra attention. The act of inspection is a ritual, performed with care and dedication. Once satisfied, the knights gather their polishing tools and begin. They first apply the coarse compound, working it into the metal with firm circular motions. These motions are practiced and methodical, a dance of diligence and focus. They aim for uniformity, ensuring that each section of the mace receives equal treatment. The initial application may take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the level of grime. As they polish, the air is filled with a faint, earthy scent of the compounds. Each knight breathes in deeply, feeling a sense of calm wash over them. The rhythmic sound of cloth against metal becomes a soothing backdrop as the world around them fades into a soft hum. Next, they transition to finer polishing cloths, applying their softer compounds. This step is crucial as it elevates the shine to a polished brilliance. The knights have learned to be gentle at this stage. Too much pressure can mar the surface, turning their efforts into a futile endeavor. At this point, they may take turns observing one another, offering quiet encouragement or gentle critiques. This camaraderie is an unspoken aspect of the etiquette observed during the competition. It is understood that while each knight seeks personal glory through their polished mace, they also uphold the tradition of mutual respect and support. The sound of cloth gliding across metal continues, creating a soft, rhythmic lull. Minutes stretch into hours as they refine their techniques. Each stroke is purposeful. Each pass of the cloth a step closer to achieving that reflective surface. The competition is not merely about speed. It is about precision and care. The knights keep track of time meticulously. Watches made of simple leather straps and wooden faces are commonplace. They glance at their timepieces, noting how long they have been polishing. Each knight strives to maintain a balance between diligence and efficiency. In the back of their minds, they know that the final inspection will be critical. A mere minute lost can make the difference between first and last place. Yet in this moment, they focus entirely on their task, allowing the soothing act of polishing to center their thoughts. As the hours pass, the knights take breaks. During these moments of respite, they gather in small groups, sharing stories of past competitions and the techniques they have learned over time. They speak in low, measured tones, creating a warm atmosphere of shared experience. This social aspect is as much a part of the competition as the polishing itself. The knights return to their maces, the light reflecting off the polished surfaces. The shine is nearly there, yet they know that the final touches require the greatest care. They employ a final polishing technique, a secret ingredient passed down through generations. Some knights use a drop of oil, a touch of humidity that enhances the shine. Others prefer to use a soft, damp cloth to bring out the final luster. The knights know that this last step is delicate. They work slowly, gently applying the oil or dampness to their cloths before gliding them over their maces. Each pass is a moment of quiet concentration, transforming their hard work into something beautiful and worthy. The sun begins to dip lower in the sky, casting a golden hue across the courtyard. The knights, with their polished maces, admire their reflections in the metal, seeing not just the weapon, but their own dedication mirrored back at them. The camaraderie and rituals have drawn them into a shared experience, one that transcends the competition itself. As they continue polishing, they remain aware of their surroundings. The gentle sounds of nature become a soothing symphony. The rustling leaves, the distant chirping of birds, and the soft murmurs of fellow knights create a backdrop that enhances their meditative state. They have learned through practice that polishing is not merely a physical act, it is a mental exercise as well, a time for reflection and mindfulness. Each stroke of the cloth becomes a moment of peace, a gentle reminder of the importance of tradition and honor. As the shadows grow longer, the knights finish their polishing routines. They step back to admire their work, each mace now a shining testament to their efforts. The air is filled with a sense of accomplishment, a calm satisfaction that comes from dedication. The sun sets, casting a soft glow over the courtyard, and the knights feel the weight of their polished maces in their hands. They prepare for the next phase of the competition. Yet for now, they bask in the quiet glory of their achievement. The dull moments spent polishing have transformed into a peaceful memory, soothing and serene. Little by little, they gather their tools, each night meticulously cleaning their cloths and packing away their compounds. The process of tidying up also holds its own sense of purpose. It is a final act of respect for the tools that aided them, for the maces that now shine brightly, and for the traditions that bind them together. As they finish, they carry with them the tranquility of the day, the harmony of shared labor, and the satisfaction of a job well done. Each knight walks away, not just with a polished mace, but with a sense of peace and camaraderie that lingers long after the sun has set. As the knights walk away from the courtyard, they begin to reflect on the tools they use throughout the day. Each knight carries a well-worn leather pouch, an essential accessory for any mace polishing competition. Within this pouch, one can find a selection of cloths, each designed for a specific purpose. There are soft, fine cloths for applying the polish, and coarser ones for initial cleaning. The leather is soft to the touch, with a rich aroma that speaks of years of service. The knights pay careful attention to the materials they have chosen. The polish itself is a mixture of beeswax and natural oils, carefully measured in small glass jars. Each jar holds precisely 2 ounces of this treasured mixture. The beeswax glistens faintly, a golden hue that promises to nourish the metal while creating a protective layer against the elements. The application of the polish is a ritual in itself. The knights take a moment to breathe deeply, calming their minds before embarking on the task at hand. With gentle movements, they dip the cloth into the jar, allowing just enough polish to coat the fabric. It is important to avoid oversaturation, as this can lead to a sticky finish. Slowly and gently, they begin to apply the polish to the surface of the mace, working in small circles. This process is not hurried. Each knight knows that the best results come from patience and dedication. They take their time, allowing the polish to seep into every crevice, every intricate detail of the mace's design. Little by little, they move along the length of the weapon, ensuring that no spot is left untouched. Each stroke is deliberate, a testament to their commitment to the craft. As they polish, they sometimes pause to inspect their work. A discerning eye is essential. They hold the mace up to the light, watching how it reflects the warm glow of the sun. The knights will often share tips and observations with one another, creating a gentle dialogue that is as much a part of the experience as the polishing itself. "Look here," one might say, pointing out a particularly intricate engraving. The light catches it beautifully. Their voices are soft, calming, encouraging. It is a moment of camaraderie, of shared purpose. They respect one another's skills and knowledge, passing along techniques that have been honed over generations. This sharing of wisdom adds layers to the simple act of polishing, transforming it into a bond that connects them all. Once the initial application is complete, the knights move to the next phase, buffing. They take another cloth, this one slightly thicker, and made of a different material. It is time to bring out the shine. With smooth, rhythmic motions, they buff the mace, the friction warming the metal just enough to enhance its luster. Each stroke is met with a soft, almost melodic sound as the cloth glides across the surface. The knights focus intently on this step. They know that the key to a brilliant finish is consistency. They vary their pressure, experimenting with light and firm strokes, always aiming for even sheen. The sound of cloth on metal becomes a soothing backdrop to their thoughts. Moment by moment, they transform the once dull surface into something radiant, something gleaming. In this tranquil setting, the knights are mindful of their surroundings. The courtyard is filled with the scents of fresh grass and warm earth. Occasionally, a gentle breeze stirs, rustling the leaves of nearby trees. This calming ambience envelops them, creating a serene atmosphere that enhances their focus. They take deep breaths, allowing the peacefulness of the moment to seep into their bones. As they continue to buff, the knights occasionally check the time. The competition is structured, with specific intervals allocated to each phase of polishing. They have learned to manage their time wisely, ensuring that they complete each step without feeling rushed. It is a delicate balance, one that requires practice and experience. The schedule is shared among them, a simple parchment with neatly drawn lines indicating the phases and their respective durations. Each segment is timed to allow for thoroughness, yet remains flexible enough to accommodate individual needs. This careful planning fosters a sense of security, allowing the knights to immerse themselves fully in the task. Once the buffing is complete, the knights step back, admiring their handiwork. The maces now gleam with a brilliance that reflects the sun's rays. Each surface is smooth to the touch, a tactile reward for their labor. They take a moment to breathe, inhaling deeply, savoring the satisfaction that comes from their efforts. After this phase, they move on to the final touches. This involves applying a thin layer of protective oil, a final measure to ensure that the polish remains intact for as long as possible. This oil, also measured carefully, is a fragrant blend that keeps the maces looking pristine. The knights apply it sparingly, using their fingertips to spread it evenly across the surface. This last step is both practical and ceremonial. The care they take reflects their respect for the tradition of the competition. Each knight knows that a well-maintained mace is a symbol of honor, a representation of their dedication not only to their weapons, but to the very spirit of chivalry itself. They often remind each other of the importance of this final detail. A polished mace is a happy mace, one knight might gently say, reinforcing the serene atmosphere. Once the oil is applied, they lay their maces gently on the soft cloth they had previously spread out. This cloth serves as a resting place, a protective layer that cradles their hard work. They take a step back and admire the array before them, a collection of shining maces, each unique yet connected through the shared experience of polishing. As they stand in this moment of quiet reflection, the sun dips lower in the sky. The golden light casts long shadows, creating a tranquil scene that enhances the sense of serenity they have cultivated. The knights may find a quiet spot to sit, allowing themselves to absorb the day's achievements. They share soft words, recounting moments of particular joy or struggle, solidifying their bonds. This gathering, this communal experience, becomes a cherished memory. Each knight understands that while the polishing of maces may seem trivial to some, it carries profound significance in their world. Slowly and gently, they settle, resting their bodies against the cool stone of the courtyard. The warmth of the day begins to fade, and with it, they feel a sense of calm washing over them. Each breath becomes deeper, slower, as they relax into the quietude of the evening. The maces, now gleaming softly in the dimming light, serve as a reminder of their efforts, their camaraderie, and the peaceful spirit of the competition. Sire. As the sun continues to set, casting a gentle glow over the courtyard, the knights begin to gather their tools for the next phase of their polishing routine. Each knight carries a small leather pouch, worn and soft from years of use, containing the essential tools for mace polishing. Within these pouches, there are various cloths, each carefully chosen for its specific purpose. There are coarse cloths for initial scrubbing, soft cloths for the final shine, and some specially treated with oils to nourish the metal. Yeah. The cloths vary in size, typically ranging from 6 inches to a foot square, allowing for a good grip and effective maneuvering. The leather pouches themselves are often adorned with simple stitching, each stitch telling a story of care and attention. The knights take a moment to inspect each piece, running their fingers over the fabric, feeling the texture, and ensuring everything is in good order. In addition to the cloths, each knight carries a small container, perhaps fashioned from wood or metal, filled with a selection of polishing compounds. These compounds are specially formulated mixtures, often containing natural abrasives and oils. They come in various shades, from deep browns to light creams, each chosen for its unique properties. Some compounds are more abrasive, perfect for removing tougher tarnish, while others are gentler, ideal for the final polishing touch. The knights measure out these compounds with great care, often using a small wooden scoop, ensuring they have just the right amount for their task. The prices for these polishing materials can vary, but typically, a small container of a quality polishing compound might cost around 2 silver coins. For the knights, this cost is a small price to pay for the satisfaction of a well-polished mace. They understand the importance of maintaining their weapons, both for functionality and to uphold their pride. With tools and materials in hand, the knights begin the meticulous process of polishing. They lay their maces down on a flat stone surface in the courtyard, each knight finding a comfortable position as they settle into the routine. It's a well-practiced choreography, as they work with a rhythm that is almost meditative. First, they take the coarse cloth and, using a small amount of the abrasive compound, begin to scrub the surface of their maces. The movement is slow, deliberate, and steady. They apply just enough pressure to clean away the grime and tarnish, making sure to move in gentle circular motions. Each knight focuses on one section at a time, often starting at the handle and working their way towards the head of the mace. Slowly and gently, they wipe away the layers of dirt, revealing the gleaming metal beneath. This initial scrubbing can take several minutes. The knights often find themselves lost in thought, reflecting on their past battles, their journeys, and the friendships they have formed. The gentle sound of cloth against metal fills the air, creating a soothing backdrop to their quiet contemplation. Once the initial cleaning is complete, they rinse the cloth in a small basin of water, often filled with herbs to impart a fresh scent. As they wring out the cloth, They can feel the coolness of the water against their hands, contrasting with the warmth of the day. This moment of refreshment invigorates them, allowing them to continue with renewed focus. They then reach for the soft cloth, the one set aside for the final touch. This cloth is often smoother and finer, perfect for bringing out the shine. They carefully apply a small amount of the gentler polishing compound to the cloth, working it into the fibers. With the soft cloth in hand, they begin to buff the mace, this time using lighter strokes. They take their time, moving slowly and gently across the surface, admiring the reflections that begin to appear. The maces begin to gleam, catching the last rays of sunlight in a way that almost seems to dance. Each stroke brings a little more shine, and they can feel a sense of accomplishment building with each pass. As they polish, they occasionally pause to inspect their work, holding the mace up to the light. The knights lean back slightly, adjusting their posture, ensuring comfort as they engage in this repetitive task. They take deep breaths, inhaling the fresh outdoor air mixed with the subtle scent of the polishing compounds. During this time, they often exchange soft words of encouragement. They might comment on the craftsmanship of each other's maces, appreciating the unique designs and embellishments that each weapon bears. They share tips on polishing techniques, discussing the specific types of cloths and compounds that work best for different metals. This exchange of knowledge is gentle and unhurried. The evening air grows cooler, and as the light continues to fade, they become more engrossed in their task. The knights can sense the tranquility around them, the soft sounds of nature enveloping the courtyard. Each moment spent polishing a mace is a moment of connection, not only to their weapons but to one another. After some time, the knights begin to finish their polishing routines. They take a moment to admire their work, holding their maces up to the fading light, watching as the reflections shimmer gently. Each mace now tells a story of effort, dedication, and camaraderie. As they prepare to put their tools away, they carefully fold the cloths and store them back in their leather pouches, ensuring each item is treated with care. The containers of polishing compound are sealed tightly, preserving their efficacy for the next occasion. The knights take a moment to reflect on their day, acknowledging the labor that goes into maintaining their equipment. They understand that a polished mace is not just about appearance. It symbolizes respect for their craft and the traditions they uphold. Each small act of polishing adds to their legacy, a legacy built on dedication and shared experiences. As they pack away their belongings, the courtyard begins to settle into the stillness of night. The knights appreciate the simple act of storing their tools as a kind of ritual, a way to honor the day's efforts. They share soft smiles, understanding that even in the mundane, there is beauty to be found. With their maces now shining and their tools safely stowed, the knights find a comfortable place to rest. They lean back against the cool stones, allowing themselves to relax further. The warmth of the day has faded completely, replaced by the gentle coolness of the evening breeze. Each knight breathes deeply, letting go of any tension, feeling their shoulders relax as they settle into the moment. The courtyard, now illuminated by the soft light of lanterns, feels like a cocoon of warmth and comfort. The maces, resting beside them, gleam softly in the lamplight, a testament to their dedication. They sit together, reflecting on the day's meaningful yet simple tasks. Each moment of polishing is embedded in their memories, a gentle reminder of the camaraderie they have nurtured. Slowly and gently, they close their eyes, taking in the sounds of the night, allowing themselves to drift into a peaceful reverie. Well, wow. As the nights settle in for the evening, their thoughts drift to the tools of their trade. The maces, polished to a gleaming shine, are not merely weapons but extensions of their daily lives. Each knight considers the process of maintaining these tools a ritual that is as much about care as it is about utility. The polishing cloths, worn but soft, are essential in this endeavor. They are made of fine linen, perhaps 4 fingers wide and a foot long. Each knight keeps his cloth in a small pouch, tied with a simple string, ensuring it remains clean and ready for use. The knights are aware that the act of polishing their maces is just as important as wielding them in practice. The act takes time, a good hour or more, depending on the state of the mace. Little by little, they dedicate themselves to this task. The process begins by gathering the right tools. They have their chosen oils, usually of linseed or perhaps a touch of beeswax, each possessing unique qualities that help protect the metal while enhancing its luster. With a soft breath, they begin to apply the oil, using their fingers to gently massage the liquid into the crevices of the mace. The oil seeps into every nook and cranny, and they relish this simple, soothing task. Slowly and gently, they work, feeling the weight of the mace in their hands. The maces, typically weighing around 5 pounds, feel familiar and reassuring. The knights know that polishing is not merely about aesthetics. It serves a practical purpose. A well-polished mace can prevent rust, allowing the metal to withstand the elements better. As they polish, they contemplate the intricate designs on the head of the mace, each dent and curve telling a story of its own. After the oil has been applied, the knights take the clean side of the cloth and begin to polish the metal. They wipe in smooth circular motions, ensuring that each stroke is deliberate and thorough. A knight may choose to polish for about 20 minutes, focusing on one section of the mace at a time until every part gleams. The rhythmic motion becomes meditative, a soft dance between hand and metal. With every stroke, they feel a sense of satisfaction wash over them. They consider the cost of the materials they have used. A good quality oil might cost 2 pence at the market, while the cloths can be made from scrap linen, repurposed from old garments. Such frugality is encouraged, for it is important to manage resources wisely. The echo of the marketplace lingers in their minds, the chatter of vendors and the clinking of coins, as they reflect on how each item in their care has its own value. As the knights continue their polishing, they engage in conversations about the proper etiquette of maintenance. They discuss the importance of sharing tips and tricks among their peers. One knight might share a method he learned from a traveling squire, while another may recount the way his father taught him to care for his weapons. These exchanges foster a sense of community. Little by little, they build a camaraderie rooted in their shared experiences. The knights understand that the act of polishing is not confined to the day. It becomes a part of their schedule, a ritual that marks the transition from the busyness of the day into the stillness of the night. They have dedicated specific days for this maintenance. Every Tuesday evening is reserved for maces, while Thursdays might be for swords. This routine provides structure, allowing them to prepare both body and mind for the tasks ahead. When the polishing is complete, they examine their work closely. Each knight takes a moment to admire the fruits of his labor. The maces glisten softly in the lantern light, reflections dancing across the stone courtyard. The satisfaction of seeing a job well done brings a quiet joy. They may sit for a moment, gazing at their work, appreciating the beauty and the simplicity of their tasks. Why? With the polishing ritual concluded, they wrap their maces in soft cloths for protection. Each knight has a designated storage space, often a wooden chest adorned with simple carvings. The chest is sturdy, crafted from oak and built to withstand the passage of time. Inside, they store not just their maces but other belongings, such as spare cloths and oils. The process of placing the maces into the chest is deliberate. They lay the maces down gently, ensuring that they do not knock against one another. The sound of metal clinking softly is almost soothing, a reminder of the day's efforts. With each mace safely stored, the knights feel a sense of peace, knowing that their tools are prepared for whatever the next day may bring. As they close the chest, they share a few final words, perhaps a soft laugh about the day's polishing efforts. They might tease one another about the sheen of each mace, a light-hearted exchange that deepens their bond. They understand that even in the most mundane of activities, there lies a certain elegance. The courtyard is now tranquil, the soft glow of lanterns flickering like distant stars. Slowly and gently, the knights prepare themselves for rest. Each knight finds his corner, laying down upon straw-stuffed mattresses covered with woolen blankets. They take a moment to appreciate the warmth enveloping them, a comfort after the day's labor. Wow, I would die. With their eyes closed, they listen to the gentle night sounds surrounding the courtyard. The chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves, and the distant hoot of an owl create a serene symphony. They breathe in deeply, allowing the stillness to wash over them. They allow their thoughts to drift, recalling the day's tasks and the satisfaction that comes from the ritual of care. Feeling the weight of the day lift, they remember the importance of their maces. Each one is a symbol of dedication, a reminder of the bond they share. As they drift further into relaxation, they consider the polishing routine, a measure of their commitment to their craft. The act of polishing becomes a metaphor for their lives, an ongoing process of care, attention, and connection. And so, in this soft cocoon of night, the knights rest. The maces, polished and stowed, stand as sentinels of their labor. The evening air is cool against their skin, and they sink deeper into their blankets, letting go of the day's tensions. Little by little, they surrender to the calmness of the night, ready to rest and rejuvenate for the tasks that await them at dawn. Earlier, in the gentle embrace of the night, the knights prepare for the polishing routine that will accompany them through the next day. Each knight has their own set of tools, carefully chosen and maintained, reflecting their personal touch and dedication. They gather together in the dim light of the courtyard, the flickering lanterns casting soft shadows on the cobblestones beneath their feet. The first step in their ritual is to gather the necessary materials. A soft, lint-free cloth is essential for polishing, as it glides over the metal surface without leaving behind fibers or scratches. They each have a cloth, well-worn and familiar in their hands. The texture is smooth, almost comforting. Next, they reach for the polishing compound. The compound is a mixture of fine abrasives, often made from ingredients such as chalk or pumice, combined with a gentle oil. This oil helps to lift away grime, while the abrasives work to restore the luster of the metal. Each knight has their preferred formula, some using simple mixtures they've crafted themselves, while others favor the commercial products available from traveling merchants. The prices of these compounds can vary, from a few pennies for a basic mixture to several shillings for a high-quality blend. As they apply the compound to their cloth, they work slowly, carefully, ensuring an even coverage. The knights know that haste can lead to uneven results, and an uneven polish can be a source of embarrassment during competitions. They breathe in the faint scent of the mixture, a blend of earthiness and oils, allowing it to settle into their senses. With each stroke, they work in small sections, polishing in circular motions. They understand the rhythm of the process, knowing that slowly and gently is the key. They might spend several moments on each area, observing the transformation as the metal begins to shine beneath their hands. The sound of cloth against metal creates a soft, soothing noise, almost like a gentle whisper. They take turns, sharing tips and techniques as they progress. Some knights prefer to use a little more pressure, while others are lighter on the surface, favoring a gentler touch. This exchange fosters camaraderie among them, a shared understanding of their craft. As they polish, they also take care to inspect their maces thoroughly. They check for any dents or imperfections that may have occurred during training or competition. The knights know that attention to detail is paramount. If they notice any flaws, they will set aside time to address them before the next day's activities. The polishing routine also includes a careful examination of the shaft of the mace. This part is often made of sturdy wood, such as oak or ash, and requires special care. They use a separate cloth, one that is slightly rougher, to clean the wood. The knights apply a light oil to the wood, nourishing it and protecting it from moisture and wear. This step ensures that the handle remains comfortable and sturdy, providing a reliable grip during use. Time seems to slow as they work. Each knight finds a rhythm, a soothing cadence in their movements. The air is filled with an atmosphere of purpose and tranquility. The courtyard remains quiet, save for the sounds of their polishing. Little by little, the maces transform from mere tools of war into gleaming symbols of pride. After the polishing is complete, they step back to admire their handiwork. Each mace gleams in the soft light, reflecting the lantern's glow. The knights take a moment to appreciate the fruits of their labor, recognizing that this ritual is not merely about appearance, but also about respect for their weapons and what they represent. They have their own designated storage area for the maces, a simple wooden rack located against the wall of the courtyard. Each knight carefully places their polished mace onto the rack, ensuring it is secure and well protected. The wooden pegs are spaced evenly, allowing for easy access while also preventing any unnecessary wear. The knights have learned the importance of maintaining their equipment, understanding that neglect can lead to a loss of both performance and pride. As they finish placing their maces into storage, they gather again, reflecting on the evening's tasks. They discuss the upcoming polishing competition, a tradition that has persisted through the years, despite its lack of enthusiasm among some knights. They share stories of past competitions, recounting the peculiarities and subtle nuances that arise during such events. The competition, held in the courtyard, is structured with a clear set of rules. Each knight is allotted a specific time to polish their mace to perfection. They are judged not solely on the shine, but also on the technique, the attention to detail, and the overall presentation. The judges, often older knights with a wealth of experience, observe with discerning eyes, appreciating the delicate balance of skill and artistry. As the knights discuss these details, they grow sleepy, the gentle rhythm of their conversation lulling them further into relaxation. The night deepens, and the flickering lanterns cast a warm glow, creating a cocoon of safety and comfort. They reflect on the camaraderie built through this shared experience. Polishing maces is more than just a task. It is a ritual of bonding, a way to connect with one another through their shared commitment to their craft. They find solace in the knowledge that they are not alone in their efforts, and together they embrace the peacefulness of the night. With the maces securely stored and the polishing completed, they each begin to settle into their resting places. The gentle night sounds once more surround them, weaving a tapestry of calm. They close their eyes, allowing the day's activities to fade into memory. In this quiet moment, they find comfort in the knowledge that tomorrow will bring another opportunity to polish, to care, and to connect. Little by little, they embrace the stillness of the night, surrendering to the soothing embrace of sleep, ready for the dawn that awaits them. As the nights settle into the calmness of the night, they reflect upon the tools they use for polishing their maces. Each tool serves a specific purpose, and every choice is made with care and intention. The primary tool, the polishing cloth, is often made from soft linen, a gentle fabric that caresses the metal without scratching its surface. These cloths are usually about 2 feet square, just large enough to provide ample coverage, yet small enough to handle comfortably. Little by little, they select their cloths, ensuring they are clean and free from any debris that might mar the surface of their beloved maces. Next, they prepare the polishing compound. A mixture of fine beeswax and a touch of oil creates a smooth paste that glides effortlessly across the metal. The beeswax comes from local beekeepers, each small jar costing just a few coins that the knights know well, having exchanged them many times. The oil, often olive or linseed, is measured carefully, a teaspoon for every 2 tablespoons of beeswax. This balance allows the knights to create a compound that shines and protects the metal, ensuring it endures through countless battles. Before they begin, there is a ritual of sorts, a moment of silence to appreciate the significance of their work. They look at their maces, admiring the intricate designs and the heft of the metal. Each mace tells a story, a history that is intertwined with their own journeys. In this stillness, they breathe in deeply, feeling the weight of the moment. With tools and materials prepared, they begin their routine. The knights take turns applying the polishing compound, each one working methodically to ensure even coverage. First, they dip their cloth into the paste, allowing just enough to cling without being excessive. They start at the head of the mace, using gentle circular motions to work the compound into the metal. Slowly and gently, they move down the shaft, ensuring that every inch receives the same tender care. This process takes time. Each knight knows that rushing leads to missed spots, dull patches, and, ultimately, disappointment. They often find themselves lost in the rhythm of the polishing, the repetitive motions soothing their minds. They take approximately 15 minutes for each mace, sometimes longer, savoring the quietude of their task. As they polish, they engage in soft whispers about the proper techniques. They share little tips, learned through experience, about the angle of the cloth, the pressure applied, and the importance of patience. Remember to let the compound breathe. One knight advises, as he wipes away excess wax with a fresh, clean cloth. It is a gentle reminder that polishing is not merely about shine. It is about nurturing the metal, allowing it to reflect the light of the world around it. The knights take turns discussing their preferences for polishing compounds, each knight having developed their own unique mixture over time. Some prefer a slightly firmer paste, while others enjoy a creamier consistency that glides effortlessly across the surface. They share these mixtures as they share their lives, each one contributing to the collective knowledge that binds them together. Little by little, they find joy in the exchange of ideas. When the polishing is complete, they rinse their cloths in a basin of warm water. This basin sits on a sturdy wooden table, its surface worn smooth by years of such rituals. The water, slightly soapy, swirls as they clean the cloths, ensuring that no remnants of the wax remain. They squeeze the cloths gently, watching as the water drips, forming small puddles that reflect the flickering lantern light. Once the cloths are clean, they lay them flat to dry on the table's edge. This is a small yet essential part of their routine, as a clean cloth is just as important as the polishing itself. They know that, should they neglect this detail, the next polishing session will not yield the desired shine. It is in these small, mundane actions that the knights find a sense of peace and purpose. After the maces are polished and the cloths are cleaned, the knights gather around a small wooden barrel to store their prized possessions. The barrel, a sturdy construct fashioned from aged oak, possesses an aroma that speaks of history and labor. Each knight carefully places their mace within, ensuring it is nestled securely to prevent any damage. They take turns, each one articulating their thoughts about their maces, whispering tales of their past and the battles they hope to face. The barrel is lined with soft straw, a gentle cushion that cradles the maces as they rest. This attention to detail, this care, echoes their commitment to their craft. They understand that these weapons are not merely tools of war, but extensions of themselves. Each knight has their own designated spot in the barrel, a place that feels like home to their trusted weapon. They place their maces in a particular order, a ritual that brings comfort and familiarity. When the maces are safely stored, the knights often spend a few moments reminiscing about the day's work. They share stories of past polishing sessions, discussing the various techniques they have tried and the results they have achieved. These moments of reflection are filled with warmth, creating a gentle bond that enhances their camaraderie. They speak softly, their voices like a soothing hum in the back of their minds, lulling them into a sense of tranquility. As the candles burn low, the knights begin to prepare for rest. They extinguish the lanterns one by one, careful to dim the light gradually, allowing their eyes to adjust. Little by little, the room grows darker, and the shadows deepen, providing an even more comforting embrace. They settle into their resting places, each knight finding solace in the simplicity of the moment. With the sound of the night enveloping them, the knights close their eyes. They breathe deeply, filling their lungs with the cool night air, allowing their bodies to sink into their beds. Little by little, they let go of the day, surrendering to the peacefulness that surrounds them. In this quietude, they find comfort, and as they drift into a gentle slumber, they are content in the knowledge that tomorrow will present yet another opportunity to polish, to care, and to connect once more. As the dawn breaks softly over the horizon, the knights awaken to the gentle light filtering through the narrow windows of the castle. There is a stillness in the air, a calmness that invites the day to unfold slowly. They rise from their beds, each knight stretching his limbs, feeling the warmth of the sun on their skin, and taking a moment to breathe deeply. Little by little, they shake off the remnants of sleep, preparing for the day's tasks that lie ahead. The first order of the day is the meticulous act of polishing their maces, an essential part of their routine. Each knight has a designated space in the armory where the tools and materials for this task are carefully organized. There is a sense of pride in this organization, a gentle reminder that each piece of armament deserves attention and care. The armory is lined with shelves of various oils, cloths, and polishing compounds, each labeled with precision. The polishing begins with the selection of the appropriate tool. A soft, fine cloth is chosen, often made from the softest linen available. This cloth, worn and frayed from many uses, holds a gentle softness that cradles the surface of the mace. The knights choose the cloth with intention, ensuring it is free from debris or rough edges that could scratch the metal. Slowly and gently, they drape the cloth over their fingers, feeling its texture and familiarizing themselves with its comforting touch. Next, they reach for a small jar of polishing compound, its contents a blend of natural oils and fine powders. The knights appreciate the earthy scent that wafts from the jar when it is opened. Each knight measures out a small amount of the compound, about the size of a marble, placing it carefully upon the cloth. Little by little, they begin to spread the compound across the surface of the mace, their movements deliberate and rhythmic. The maces themselves are marvels of craftsmanship, each weighing between 3 to 5 pounds. Depending on their design, they are often made of iron, with some intricately designed with brass or steel accents. As the knights polish, they take note of the details, the patterns etched upon the surface, the way the light catches the metal. With each stroke, they are reminded of the history held within these weapons, the stories they tell. The polishing process is methodical. Each knight works in a quiet harmony. The sounds of cloth against metal, creating a soothing cadence. They begin at the head of the mace, using gentle circular motions, applying just the right amount of pressure. A knight might spend several minutes on this first section, ensuring that every crevice is attended to. Slowly and gently, they breathe in time with their movements, letting go of any tension in their shoulders, focusing solely on the task before them. As they polish, they occasionally pause to examine their work, tilting the mace to catch the light. This moment of reflection is sacred, a time to appreciate the transformation taking place. The dull surface begins to glisten, revealing its true character beneath layers of grime. The knights share smiles, knowing that their efforts will not go unnoticed. Each polished mace becomes a symbol of diligence and respect for their craft. Once the heads of the maces are gleaming, they turn their attention to the handles. The wood is often finished with a coat of linseed oil, which not only preserves the material, but also enhances its natural beauty. The knights gently wipe away any excess oil, ensuring a clean surface that feels smooth and warm to the touch. They are mindful of the balance of the mace, appreciating how the weight is distributed along the length of the handle. Little by little, they take their time, knowing that rushing the process would diminish the care they wish to convey. After the polishing, the knights engage in a final inspection of their work. This involves a gentle run of their fingers over the mace, feeling for any imperfections that may have been missed. The inspection is a shared activity, with knights often exchanging their maces to offer a fresh perspective. They examine the work of their peers with a soft gaze, appreciating the craftsmanship and the dedication evident in each polished surface. The next step involves storage. Each knight returns to the armory, placing the polished maces back onto their designated hooks. There is a particular order to how they hang, with the larger maces at the top and the smaller, lighter ones below. This system allows for ease of access, and the knights are careful to ensure that each mace is secure. They take a moment to adjust the hooks, ensuring that there is ample space between each weapon, allowing them to breathe without fear of damage. In the early afternoon, the knights gather for a brief moment of camaraderie. They share their experiences of the polishing process, recounting the different techniques they employed and the time spent on each mace. These conversations are filled with warmth, echoing through the stone walls of the armory. The knights listen intently, offering gentle nods of agreement and appreciation for the efforts of their peers. Little by little, they create a tapestry of shared knowledge, a bond forged through the simple act of care. As the hours pass, they discuss the prices of various polishing compounds available in the market. Some knights prefer to purchase their supplies from the local apothecary, where the scents of herbs and oils fill the air. Others seek out merchants who travel from distant towns, selling rare ingredients that enhance the quality of their polishing. They weigh the costs, often sharing tips on where to find the best deals and the most effective products. The conversation flows like a gentle stream, soothing and unhurried. As twilight approaches, the knights prepare for the evening. They take care to clean their polishing tools, ensuring that the cloths are free of compound and the jars are sealed tightly. This ritual of cleaning is a mark of respect, a way to honor the tools that serve them so well. They wash the cloths in warm water, wringing them out gently before hanging them to dry. Each knight takes a moment to wipe down their workspace, restoring order to the armory as they prepare for the next day's tasks. With the day's duties complete, the knights gather once more, sharing a final moment of reflection together. They recall their favorite moments from the day, speaking softly and appreciatively. As they settle into their evening routines, they breathe deeply, allowing the day's efforts to settle within them. Little by little, they prepare to rest, finding comfort in the knowledge that tomorrow will bring yet another chance to polish, to care, and to connect. In this tranquil space, the knights drift into a gentle slumber, lulled by the memories of their day and the promise of the next. They find peace in the simple act of maintaining their maces, knowing that within this mundane routine lies a deeper connection to their craft and to one another. Ah, Fanny. As the evening deepens, the knights embrace the stillness that surrounds them. They find themselves wrapped in a warm cocoon of familiarity, a routine that is both comforting and essential. In the realm of mace polishing, every detail holds significance. Every tool has its place and purpose, and every motion is deliberate, crafted through years of practice. The first item to consider is the polishing cloth, a simple yet indispensable tool. Crafted from soft, durable linen, the cloth is chosen for its ability to absorb the polishing compounds without leaving behind any residue. Each cloth measures approximately 12 by 12 inches, the perfect size to fit comfortably within a knight's hand. Knights often keep their polishing cloths stored in a special wooden chest, lined with soft felt to protect them from dust and damage. This chest, made from oak, is treated with oil to maintain its luster. The knights take a moment to admire the craftsmanship of this chest, noting how the deep grooves of the wood tell stories of time. When they retrieve their cloths, they inspect each one carefully. They look for frays or imperfections, ensuring that every cloth is in optimum condition. If a cloth shows signs of wear, it is set aside for mending or repurposing. The knights understand the value of each tool, nurturing it like a trusted companion. Next comes the polishing compound, a mixture of finely ground pumice stone and beeswax. The preparation of this compound is a ritual in itself. The knights measure 1 part pumice to 1 part beeswax, using a small scale that sits on the workbench. This scale, made of brass, has delicate engravings that glint softly in the flickering candlelight. Once the ingredients are weighed, they are placed in a sturdy, shallow bowl. The knights take turns stirring the mixture gently, creating a smooth paste. This process takes about 10 minutes, each stirring motion rhythmic and soothing. As they mix, they share stories of past competitions, their voices soft and melodic, echoing in the quiet of the armory. With the compound prepared, the knights move to their maces, each one resting on a dedicated stand. These stands, made of polished wood, elevate the maces for easy access and visibility. Each mace is unique, with its own history and design, yet they all share a common purpose. The knights take pride in their maces, knowing that the time spent polishing them is a reflection of respect and dedication. The knights each begin their polishing routine, starting with the head of the mace. They dip a corner of their cloth into the compound, ensuring it is well coated but not overly saturated. A gentle application is key, as too much pressure can damage the surface. They take their time, moving in small circles, savoring the shine that begins to emerge. The initial strokes are performed slowly, deliberately. Each knight maintains a steady rhythm, the soft sound of cloth against metal creating a soothing ambience. Little by little, the dull surface transforms into a gleaming reflection of their efforts. As they polish, they adjust their posture, settling into a comfortable position, allowing their shoulders to relax as they breathe deeply. After polishing the head, the knights shift their focus to the shaft of the mace. This part, often ornately decorated, requires special attention. They take great care to avoid the decorative elements, using the edge of the cloth to navigate around intricate carvings. Each carving tells a story, and the knights treat these details with reverence. The polishing process can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes per mace, a time during which camaraderie blossoms. They share whispers, laughter, and the occasional sigh of satisfaction as they admire their handiwork. The air is filled with the scent of beeswax, a warm and inviting aroma that lingers, wrapping around them like a gentle embrace. As they finish the polishing of the shaft, the knights turn their attention to the grip, often made of leather. The grip requires a different approach. The knights use a slightly dampened cloth, ensuring that the leather is not soaked, but rather refreshed. They apply a thin layer of leather conditioner, a mixture of lanolin and mineral oil, to maintain flexibility and prevent cracking. The application of leather conditioner is a tender act, done with care. Little by little, they massage the conditioner into the leather, feeling the texture beneath their fingers. This process not only revitalizes the grip, but also connects the knights to their maces in a profound way. Once the maces are polished and conditioned, the knights take a moment to admire their collective efforts. They find joy in the shared experience, taking note of the gleaming surfaces that reflect the soft candlelight. Each mace stands as a testament to their dedication, a symbol of both their craft and their bond. As the night deepens, the knights clean their workspaces, returning each tool to its proper place. They wash their cloths, rinse them gently in warm water, and hang them carefully to dry. The act of cleaning becomes a meditative practice, a way to bring closure to the day's activities. With the armory restored to its original order, the knights settle into their evening rituals. They share a simple meal, often consisting of hearty bread and warm stew. As they eat, the conversations drift to the mundane, discussing the weather, the state of the crops, and plans for the morrow. The atmosphere is calm and nurturing, a sanctuary of warmth and comfort. After their meal, the knights gather around a flickering fire. They find solace in the warmth, allowing the day to slip away. The soft crackling of the fire complements their gentle exchanges, creating a peaceful backdrop against which their voices flow. They take turns sharing their thoughts, their hopes, and their dreams, finding connection in their shared experiences. As the evening winds down, they prepare for rest, each night taking a moment to reflect on the day's accomplishments. They remember the tasks completed, the maces polished, and the friendships deepened. Little by little, they let go of the day's thoughts, settling into a comfortable silence. In this tranquil space, they find peace, lulled by the rhythmic dance of the flames and the gentle hum of camaraderie. One by one, they drift into slumber, wrapped in the warmth of their shared history and the promise of tomorrow's routine. The maces, now shining in their own right, stand vigil over them, a silent testament to the beauty found in the mundane. Oh, as the knights prepare for the following day, they turn their attention to the faithful companions of their duties, their maces. These sturdy weapons have been the cornerstones of their training, and now their surfaces require careful attention. The process of polishing these maces is not merely an act of cleaning. It is a ritual steeped in tradition and care. The knights gather their tools, which include coarse cloths, fine polishing rags, and a selection of natural oils. They prefer olive oil for its gentle properties, but sometimes they opt for linseed oil, known for its protective qualities. Each knight has their own preferred method, developed through years of practice and a desire for perfection. Before beginning the polishing, they inspect the maces closely. They note the small dents and scratches, the imperfections that tell stories of past encounters. They linger for a moment, remembering the training sessions, the camaraderie forged in the heat of practice, and the significance of each mark. Once the inspection is complete, they set the mace before them, ensuring it is stable on a sturdy workbench. The bench, often made of oak, is well worn but sturdy, reflecting years of diligent care. The knights take a moment to breathe in the earthy scent of the wood, grounding themselves before they begin. The first step involves a coarse cloth to remove any dirt or grime that may have accumulated. They apply gentle pressure, wiping in slow, careful circles. This part of the process allows them to connect with the weapon, feeling the weight and the texture beneath their fingers. The act of polishing becomes meditative, a quiet moment of focus. Next, they reach for the fine polishing rag. This cloth is softer, often made from the finest linen, and it is used to bring out the natural shine of the mace. They apply a small amount of olive oil, just enough to create a thin sheen on the surface. Little by little, they work the oil into the metal, allowing it to absorb and enhance its luster. The rhythmic motion of polishing back and forth, round and round, creates a soothing cadence. They often find themselves lost in this methodical task, their minds quieting as they focus solely on the task at hand. The sound of cloth against metal is a gentle whisper, a reminder of the care they are giving to their weapon. As they polish, they share tips and techniques with one another, their voices low and calm. Remember to favor the edges, one knight advises. The edges are where wear is most visible. They nod in agreement, repeating the phrase softly. Favor the edges. Favor the edges. This repetition becomes a mantra, guiding their hands and thoughts. Soon, they begin to see the results of their labor. The surface of the mace begins to gleam, reflecting the soft light of the fire nearby. They step back occasionally to admire their work, the polished metal catching the flickering glow. Shine, Little by little, shine, they murmur, reinforcing the tranquility of the moment. The knights then take turns inspecting each other's work, offering gentle critiques. A bit more on the head, perhaps, one suggests, while another nods in agreement. This sharing of knowledge enhances their bond, creating a sense of unity among them. More on the head, they repeat softly, echoing the sentiment. After the final polish is complete, they allow the maces to rest. They place them gently on the workbench, each one nestled securely in its own designated space. The care they have taken reflects their dedication, not only to their weapons, but to one another. They breathe in unison, appreciating the moment of calm that follows their meticulous efforts. Next, they discuss the storage of their gleaming maces. Each knight has a specific place in the armory where their maces are kept, often hanging on sturdy wooden racks. The racks are positioned carefully, allowing for easy access, yet keeping the maces safe from dust and damage. Hang them high. Hang them high, they remind each other, ensuring that their weapons are treated with respect. The armory is a well-organized space. Each knight's section is marked with their insignia, often painted in subdued colors that reflect the knight's personality. Little by little, they walk through the armory, ensuring everything is in its rightful place. They appreciate the craftsmanship of the racks, the way the wood has been smoothed and finished to perfection. While they store their maces, they also take a moment to wipe down the racks, ensuring that no dust settles on their beloved weapons. Each knight retrieves a damp cloth, and together they clean the wooden surfaces, their movements synchronized and gentle. Clean, 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 they whisper, creating a gentle rhythm that echoes in the quiet space. As they finish their tasks, they gather one last time around the fire, the flickering light illuminating their faces. The warmth envelops them, and they feel a sense of accomplishment. They sit in a circle, their polished maces resting nearby, reflecting the glow of the flames. Here, in this serene setting, they find comfort. They share stories of past competitions, recalling the intricacies of each event. They speak of the rules, the etiquette expected of each participant, and the gentle rivalry that often accompanied the polishing competitions. Respect the process. Respect the process. They remind one another, reinforcing the values that bind them. Little by little, they drift into a state of reflection, their minds weaving through memories of the past. The knights find themselves lulled by the gentle cadence of their voices and the soothing ambiance of the fire. One by one, they lean back, feeling the weight of their bodies sink into the comforting embrace of their surroundings. With each passing moment, the warmth of the fire, the polished maces, and the shared camaraderie envelop them in a gentle cocoon. They breathe deeply, in and out, savoring the tranquility that comes from a long day's work, preparing for a night of peaceful rest. They let go of the day, letting their thoughts drift like the smoke from the fire, soft and serene. Slowly, they surrender to the embrace of sleep, knowing that tomorrow will bring another day of polishing, camaraderie, and care. As the sun begins to set, casting a soft, golden hue over the training grounds, the knights prepare for yet another evening dedicated to the meticulous art of mace polishing. They gather their tools, each knight familiar with the quiet ritual, the slow cadence of preparation that unfolds before them. The tools are simple, yet effective. Each knight carries a sturdy, well-crafted wooden box, within which lies an assortment of polishing materials. The box opens with a gentle creak, revealing a selection of soft cloths, fine powders, and oils, each item neatly arranged for easy access. The cloths are of various textures, some made from linen, known for its gentle touch, and others from wool, which offers a slightly coarser surface for those stubborn blemishes. The knights choose their cloths with care, feeling the fabric in their hands, selecting the one that feels just right for the task ahead. Next, they reach for their polishing powders. These powders are often made from finely ground chalk or even pumice, mixed with a hint of oil to create a smooth paste. The knights measure out a small portion, using a wooden scooping tool, ensuring that each application is precise and controlled. Just a pinch is all that is needed, one knight reminds the others, emphasizing the importance of moderation. This gentle reminder echoes softly in the air, a soothing mantra that calms their minds and focuses their hands. As they prepare their materials, the knights take a moment to reflect on the history of polishing. Polishing is not merely a task. It is a tradition steeped in respect and care for their weapons. The maces, once dull and gritty, are transformed through this process into gleaming symbols of their commitment and honor. The sheen of a polished mace not only represents personal pride, but also reflects the values of chivalry that they hold dear. Slowly, they begin the polishing process. Each knight finds a comfortable spot, perhaps near the flickering firelight, where the soft glow illuminates their work. They place their mace on a sturdy wooden stool, a surface that keeps the weapon stable and secure. With deliberate movements, they apply the polishing paste, spreading it evenly across the surface of the mace. The knights take their time, savoring the rhythm of the task. They use circular motions, applying gentle pressure as they work, allowing the paste to interact with the metal. Round and round, little by little, one knight murmurs, the words flowing softly into the air, encouraging a sense of calm and focus. The sound of cloth against metal creates a soft, soothing melody, almost hypnotic in its persistence. Anoa, Winshu, Pentini. As they polish, they are mindful of the intricacies of the mace, its curves, its contours. Each detail is an opportunity to reflect, to engage with the weapon on a deeper level. They study the way the light catches the polished surface, illuminating the details that might otherwise go unnoticed. Look at that shine, another knight whispers, admiring a particularly reflective section, the simple joy of the task filling the air. Nandanhai, Sawain, Ahai, nay. The polishing process is not hurried. Each step is taken with care, measured by the gentle pull of time. They work in unison, a symphony of quiet determination. The knights know that the polishing will take a while, maybe an hour or two, but this is not a burden. It is a cherished part of their routine. With each stroke of the cloth, they find a little more peace, a little more tranquility. After a thorough polishing, they inspect their work. The knights hold their maces up to the light, admiring the reflections that dance across the surface. They run their fingers over the smooth metal, feeling the difference between the polished areas and the untouched spots. Almost there, one knight murmurs, and they all nod in agreement, the shared satisfaction of progress washing over them. Now comes the final touch. They retrieve a fresh cloth, soft and clean, to buff the mace. This final step is crucial, a gentle caress that brings out the maximum shine. They wrap the cloth around their hands, holding the mace firmly, and begin to buff in smooth, sweeping motions. Gently now, gently, they remind themselves, focusing on the rhythm of the task. As they work, the knights engage in quiet conversation, sharing stories of past polishing competitions. They reminisce about moments of camaraderie, of laughter shared over a particularly stubborn mace that refused to shine. Remember how we polished for hours? One knight chuckles softly, the memory warming the group. They speak of the unwritten rules, the etiquette that governed their actions, the respect they held for one another as they polished side by side. Yes, polishing is a dance, one of the knights observes, the words floating gently through the air. A dance of patience and precision. They nod in agreement, each knight finding comfort in the shared understanding of their craft. With the final buffing complete, they set their maces aside, admiring the fruits of their labor. Each mace glimmers in the firelight, a testament to their dedication and the passage of time spent together. They take a moment to breathe deeply, inhaling the scent of polished metal and fresh cloth, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over them. The tools are carefully returned to their boxes, each item placed with thoughtfulness. The knights tuck the cloths away, ensuring they remain pristine for the next polishing session. The boxes close with a soft click, the sound echoing gently in the quiet of the evening. As the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, the knights gather around the fire once again. They reflect on the simplicity of their task, the joy found in the mundane. Polishing may seem trivial to some, but for them, it embodies a ritual of care, a moment of connection with their weapons, and a reminder of their shared purpose. They lean back, feeling the warmth of the fire against their faces. The night settles around them, a comforting blanket of calm. The maces rest nearby, their polished surfaces catching the flicker of the flames, a soft glow against the darkening sky. Little by little, the knights begin to relax, their bodies unwinding, their minds drifting into a state of gentle reverie. The whispers of the past, the memories of polishing, and the camaraderie shared wrap around them like a soothing embrace. As the fire crackles softly, the knights find comfort in the familiar surroundings of their camp. Each member of the group takes a moment to survey the tools and materials arrayed before them. Polishing maces is not a hasty task. It requires patience, attention, and a gentle touch. The knights gather their supplies, methodically preparing for the session ahead. They begin by selecting their polishing cloths, a range of textures available to suit different degrees of tarnish. Some cloths are soft and supple, made from fine linen, while others are coarser, meant for heavier cleaning. Each cloth is folded neatly, ensuring its surface remains clean and ready for use. The knights prefer to keep their cloths stored in small wooden boxes, each labeled for easy identification. This organization brings a sense of calm to their routine. Next, they retrieve the polishing paste, a concoction of finely ground abrasives mixed with oil. The paste is stored in small earthenware pots, each one carefully sealed to prevent drying. One knight measures a small amount of the paste with a wooden spatula, ensuring just enough is taken for the task ahead. The paste is creamy, smooth, and has a subtle sheen as it catches the light. With the tools assembled, the knights spread their items onto a clean, flat surface. A well-worn table, its surface, marked by years of use, becomes the center of their activity. They take a moment to appreciate the table, a shared space that has witnessed countless polishing sessions, each one a testament to their dedication. The knights take turns working on each mace, ensuring that everyone's weapon receives equal attention. The first knight begins gently applying the polishing paste to the head of the mace. He uses small circular motions, allowing the paste to work its magic. The process is rhythmic, almost meditative. As he polishes, he feels the texture of the metal beneath his fingers, smooth and cool. He can sense the imperfections being smoothed away, the dullness of the metal replaced with a soft, reflective shine. Each stroke is deliberate, methodical. The knight knows that the polishing requires not just effort, but also time. He dedicates at least 20 minutes to each mace, careful not to rush, savoring the simple pleasure of the task. Little by little, he sees the results of his labor, the weapon transforming from a mere tool into a gleaming piece of craftsmanship. Once the first mace is polished, he wipes away the excess paste with a clean section of the cloth. The cloth absorbs the residue, leaving the metal gleaming, its surface reflecting the flickering light of the fire. The knight steps back for a moment, admiring his work. The next knight takes his turn, repeating the same gentle process. He takes note of the weight of the mace in his hands, feeling its balance as he polishes. He chooses his cloth with care, selecting a softer one to bring out the shine. Each knight is encouraged to share tips, techniques, and preferences, fostering a sense of community among them. The discussions are soft, filled with gentle laughter and shared memories of past polishing sessions. They talk about the different maces they have encountered and their unique designs. Some maces are adorned with intricate carvings, while others remain plain, their strength evident in simplicity. Each design tells a story, a history etched into the metal. As they work, the knights also pay attention to the environment around them. The air is cool, a gentle breeze carrying the scent of damp earth and pine trees. They take deep breaths, inhaling the tranquil atmosphere. They remind themselves to relax their shoulders, to settle into the rhythm of the task. And then, as the night deepens, the knights take a moment to appreciate the tools they use. Their polishing cloths, though worn, are cherished, having seen years of service. The spatulas, crafted from local wood, are smooth to the touch. They reflect on the time it takes to maintain their equipment, understanding that the quality of their work relies on the quality of their tools. They take turns discussing the cost of materials, a mundane topic that somehow brings a sense of camaraderie. The polishing paste is made from ingredients they can gather locally, the cost minimal when shared among them. It is a reminder of their dependence on the land, the resources that bind them together. Little by little, as the maces are polished, the knights also pay attention to their surroundings. They listen to the sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, and distant calls of nocturnal creatures. The sounds blend into the background, creating a soothing symphony that accompanies their task. As the last mace is polished, the knights gather again around the fire. They admire their handiwork, the gleaming maces reflecting the orange glow of the flames. Each knight takes pride in the work they have accomplished together. They understand that these moments are not merely about the maintenance of weapons, but about building bonds, a shared experience of ritual and care. They lean back, feeling the warmth of the fire seep into their skin. The polished metal glimmers softly in the flickering light, a testament to their efforts and an integral part of their lives. They take a moment to breathe deeply, inhaling the cool night air, feeling a sense of peace settle over them. The knights begin to clean their tools once more, gently wiping down the surfaces. They store the cloths and paste away carefully, each item returning to its designated place. This routine is not hurried. It is done with reverence, each action measured and intentional. As they complete their tasks, the knights reflect on the rhythm of their lives. The polishing sessions serve as a reminder of their duties, their responsibilities, and the simple pleasures found in shared labor. They cherish the calmness that the evening brings, the way it wraps around them like a comforting quilt. I'm in. And then, as the fire begins to dim, they settle into a comfortable silence. The maces rest nearby, their polished surfaces catching the last remnants of the firelight. The night envelops them gently, and they feel a profound sense of tranquility wash over them. Little by little, they allow themselves to drift into the soothing embrace of the night, their minds wandering softly, lulled by the peaceful rhythm of their shared experience. As the last flickers of firelight dance upon the polished surfaces of the maces, the knights linger in the stillness of the evening. Each knight has their own set of tools, carefully chosen for the task of maintaining their weapons. These tools include soft cloths made from fine linen, a necessity for producing a smooth, gleaming finish. The cloths are often worn from use, yet they carry a certain charm, a sense of history embedded in every thread. To create the polishing paste, the knights mix together a fine powder, typically made from a combination of chalk and oil. The chalk, soft and white, is ground to a fine consistency. The oil, often sourced from local olives, is chosen for its ability to create a glossy sheen. The knights take great care in measuring these ingredients, ensuring that the ratio is just right. A typical mixture might consist of 2 parts chalk to 1 part oil, resulting in a paste that is both smooth and effective. Little by little, they blend the ingredients in small wooden bowls, their motions slow and deliberate. Each stroke of the wooden spoon is rhythmic, almost hypnotic. As they work, the air fills with a subtle scent, a mingling of earthiness from the chalk and the faint sweetness of the oil. Once the paste is ready, they reach for their maces. These weapons, heavy and formidable, require a certain reverence. The knights take turns demonstrating the proper technique for applying the paste. With a gentle hand, they scoop a small amount onto the cloth, ensuring not to take too much. A little goes a long way. They begin at the top of the mace, working their way down in smooth, circular motions. And then, they polish in a rhythmic pattern, almost like a dance. Each knight finds their own preferred method, yet the essence of the task remains the same. Slowly and gently, they cover the surface, allowing the paste to work its magic. This process can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes per mace, as they meticulously ensure every inch gleams with a soft luster. As they polish, they engage in quiet conversation, sharing thoughts about the day or the tasks that await them. However, the conversation is soft, gentle, and unhurried. They understand the value of companionship in these moments, but the focus remains on the task at hand. The act of polishing becomes a meditative experience, one that allows their minds to settle and drift. After applying the paste, they take a clean cloth to buff the surface. This second cloth is essential. It removes any excess paste and reveals the hidden shine beneath. The knights employ the same slow, deliberate motions, feeling the texture of the mace beneath their fingers. A smooth, polished surface glides under their touch, bringing a sense of satisfaction and peace. They often work in pairs, taking turns to assist one another. One knight will polish, while the other prepares the next mace, ensuring a seamless transition. They pass the maces back and forth, exchanging them with a gentle touch, mindful of the care that has gone into each weapon. Once a knight completes their polishing, they step back to admire their work. The gleam of the mace reflects the soft light, casting delicate shadows in the dim room. The satisfaction of a job well done washes over them, a sense of pride in their craftsmanship. As they finish, they take a moment to clean their tools. The cloths, now marked with the remnants of their labor, are rinsed in a small basin of water. The knights take turns, each one carefully rinsing out the cloth, watching as the water becomes murky with the residue of paste. They wring out the cloths gently, making sure to preserve their softness for the next use. The mixing bowls, too, require attention. They are cleaned and dried, returning to their place on a shelf that holds the knight's various supplies. This shelf is organized meticulously, each item in its designated spot, a testament to the order they maintain in their lives. The routine of polishing and maintaining their maces is not merely a chore, it is a ritual. The knights understand this deeply. Each session strengthens their bond with their weapons, but also with one another. The act of caring for their tools reflects the care they have for their role in the world, their duties, and their commitment to each other. As the maces are returned to their stands, each knight takes a moment to appreciate the fruits of their labor. The polished maces gleam softly in the dim light, each one a symbol of dedication. They stand tall, a reminder of their purpose. The knights, feeling the weight of their shared experience, begin to settle into a meditative silence once more. Little by little, they allow themselves to relax. They straighten their shoulders and sink deeper into their seats, feeling the gentle embrace of the evening. The soft sounds of the night begin to envelop them, the distant rustle of leaves and the quiet chirping of crickets becoming a soothing backdrop. In this moment, they reflect on the simplicity of their routine. They find comfort in the mundane, a gentle reminder that even the smallest tasks can bring about a sense of fulfillment. The knights breathe deeply, inhaling the cool night air, feeling a renewed sense of calm wash over them. As the maces stand proudly in their places, reflecting the soft light, the knights take their time to wind down. They understand that the polishing sessions hold significance beyond mere appearance. They embody the essence of their lives, the careful balance between duty and camaraderie. Slowly, as the night deepens, they prepare to rest. Each knight knows their schedule, the rhythm of the days ahead. They make a habit of rising early, tending to their duties with the same care they give to their maces. The routine provides a comforting structure, a predictable flow to their lives in a world that often feels chaotic. And then, as the fire burns low and the last embers fade, they begin to shift their focus inward. Little by little, they allow the tranquility of the night to envelop them. The world outside fades away, leaving only the gentle, calming presence of their shared experience. They close their eyes, feeling the weight of the day lift from their shoulders, and in this soothing moment, they drift softly into a peaceful slumber. As the soft whispers of the night settle around the knights, they find solace in their familiar routines. The tools of their trade lay quietly at hand, waiting for the dawn to break. Each knight possesses a well-worn wooden box, intricately carved, designed to hold the instruments essential for their polishing rituals. The boxes are sturdy, crafted from oak or elm, and lined with soft cloth to protect the metallic surfaces within. Inside, they store a selection of materials, each chosen carefully for their intended purpose. The primary tool among them is the polishing cloth, made from fine linen. This cloth is soft to the touch, its texture gentle against the surface of the mace. The knights prefer to use a cloth that has been well loved, one that has absorbed countless applications of polish over the years. They believe that the more use a cloth has seen, the softer and more effective it becomes. Little by little, they have learned that the best results come from patience and care. Alongside the cloth lies a small tin of polish, a concoction of beeswax and various oils. The beeswax is a warm golden hue, and the oils are infused with subtle fragrances, perhaps lavender or cedar. Each knight has their preference, often passed down from mentors or learned through personal trial. The knights understand the importance of maintaining the correct consistency. If too thick, the polish will not spread evenly, and if too thin, it will not provide the desired lust. They take a moment to inspect the tin, ensuring it is still pliable, yet firm enough to work with. When the time comes for polishing, the knights gather in a communal area, a wide stone courtyard under the open sky. The courtyard is swept clean, the ground cool beneath their feet. There, they lay out their maces, each one unique, yet all sharing the same gleaming potential. The knights take their places, forming a circle, and they begin by taking a deep breath, centering themselves in the moment. With deliberate movements, they select their cloths and scoop a small amount of polish onto the fabric. They spread it evenly, little by little, across the surface of the mace. The gentle circular motions create a rhythm, a soothing dance of hands and tools. Each stroke is intentional, moving from the base to the tip, ensuring that every inch receives the same tender care. They take their time, allowing the polish to warm against the metal, binding with it as they work. As they polish, they engage in quiet conversation, sharing tidbits of knowledge about the best techniques or the latest trends in mace design. They exchange stories of past victories or humorous mishaps while handling their weapons, all the while maintaining the focus required for the task at hand. The camaraderie softens the edges of their labor, transforming the duty into a shared joy. Polishing a mace is not merely about aesthetics. It is a ritual steeped in history and purpose. The knights believe that a well-polished weapon reflects the honor of its wielder. Each shine signifies respect for the craft and the battles fought. They understand that the time spent on this task is a meditation, a moment to reflect on their lives and duties. Once they've polished the metal, they move to the next step, which involves buffing the mace with a fresh, clean cloth. This cloth is slightly thicker, yet still soft, and provides the final touch to the gleam. They buff in smooth, even strokes, allowing the light to catch the surface, revealing the intricate designs and engravings that adorn each mace. The knights take turns inspecting one another's work, offering gentle nods of approval or suggestions for improvement. Time seems to move slowly in these moments. The sun rises, casting soft golden rays across the courtyard. The air is crisp, filled with the scent of morning dew and the faintest hint of smoke from a distant hearth. The sounds of nature surround them, the rustle of leaves, the gentle calls of birds, and the soothing rhythm of their polishing. They breathe deeply, inhaling the calmness of their surroundings, feeling a sense of peace settle in their hearts. After they are satisfied with the shine, they place the maces in a designated storage area. This area is a simple wooden rack, crafted with care, where each mace rests securely. The rack is organized, allowing easy access and an opportunity for admiration. Each knight hangs their mace with a sense of pride, knowing it is a reflection of their dedication. The knights are mindful of their tools after polishing. They clean the cloths, rinsing them in cool water and laying them flat to dry. The beeswax tins are closed tightly, ensuring that the polish remains fresh for the next session. This attention to detail is important. It is a part of their duty to maintain their tools just as they maintain their maces. Here. As the day progresses, they settle into a rhythm, tackling their other responsibilities with the same care they give to polishing. They tend to their horses, ensuring that each stall is clean and that the animals are well fed. They practice their sword play, their movements fluid and precise, echoing the careful motions of polishing. Each knight understands the importance of balance in their lives, the interplay of duty and camaraderie, of work and leisure. Why? Lunchtime arrives, and they gather again, sharing a simple meal of bread and cheese. The food is nourishing, providing the energy to carry on through the day. They speak softly, their voices blending with the gentle sounds of the world around them. After a time, they return to their tasks, feeling the weight of the day. As the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the courtyard, they gather once more to polish their maces. They find comfort in the familiarity of the evening routine, a reminder of their shared purpose and the bonds that unite them. With each stroke of the cloth and each application of polish, they immerse themselves in a soothing rhythm, a calming embrace of tradition and duty. Little by little, they lose themselves in the process, their minds quieting as they focus on the task at hand. And as the stars begin to twinkle overhead, they reflect on the day's work, feeling a sense of accomplishment. They understand that polishing their maces is not merely a chore, but rather a cherished part of their lives, an opportunity to connect with themselves, with each other, and with the history they carry forward. Oh, TCC. Awe me, and nay, easy get. As the final touches are applied, and the last maces are set in their places, they feel the peacefulness of the evening enveloping them once again. Each knight knows that this is a time of rest, of quiet reflection, and of preparation for the days ahead. They close their eyes, allowing the calm of the night to settle around them, and in that moment, they drift softly into a peaceful slumber. In this tranquil exploration of medieval mace polishing competitions, we have gently traveled through the dimly lit halls where knights, clad in heavy armor, gathered to refine their weapons. Little by little, we have observed the intricate rituals surrounding the care of these maces, the rhythmic strokes of cloth against metal, and the meticulous attention to detail that brought a gleam to each weapon. The quiet, unspectacular nature of these gatherings painted a portrait of dedication and routine, where the mundanity of life's tasks was transformed into a shared experience among warriors. As we settle into a soft, quiet room, the night envelops us, and our bodies rest comfortably, inviting stillness. Remember to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments, as your engagement keeps these gentle stories alive. And don't forget to turn on loop, so this soothing journey can repeat, guiding you softly into dreams of polished maces and calm reflections. Oh, wow.